Liam. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Emma. How's your day going?
Pretty good. I was thinking about something while walking.
What's on your mind?
I noticed that sometimes my English is fine for a few minutes, but then the conversation suddenly feels disconnected.
Disconnected how?
You ask a question, I answer, and then I just stop and wait for the next question. I'm not really building the conversation.
Exactly. Your sentences might be completely correct, but you're missing what happens between them.
Between the sentences? What do you mean by that?
Yes. Natural conversation isn't just a list of correct phrases. There's a whole flow connecting them together.
I knew it. Some people use really simple English, yet they sound incredibly natural.
While others use advanced words, but their conversation sounds stiff.
That's so true. So what makes the difference?
The way their ideas connect. Fluency isn't just about what you say, it's about how you move from one idea to the next.
What's the framework for that?
It's basically 4 moves: react, extend, connect, and redirect.
That sounds simple.
It is. Once you understand each move, you'll hear them everywhere and know exactly what to practice.
Can we try it with a real example?
Of course. Let's start with move number 1, react.
What does reacting actually mean?
It means acknowledging what the other person just said before jumping into your own thoughts.
What's the difference?
Imagine I say, I finally got tickets to that concert. If you instantly reply, I went to a concert last month, you just shifted the focus to yourself.
You're right. I didn't actually react to your news.
Try it again. I finally got tickets to that concert.
Oh, nice. Which one?
Much better. See how that shows their message landed with you?
Definitely. Simple phrases like, oh, nice, or really, make it feel like a real interaction.
Plus, those little reactions buy your brain a second to breathe and think.
I usually skip them because I'm rushing to answer, which makes me sound mechanical.
Right. Let's try another one. I finally tried that new restaurant everyone's talking about.
Oh, really? Was it actually good?
You got it, Emma. It was way better than I expected.
Nice. Now I want to try it.
Look how naturally that flowed without planning a script.
So instead of preparing a full speech while you're talking, I just listen and give a natural reaction.
Exactly. Don't control the whole conversation, just respond to what's happening right now.
I never realized how powerful those little reactions are. They seem almost too simple to matter.
That's why people overlook them. If I say, I visited that new cafe, and you say, oh, I've been wanting to try it. What did you think? We're instantly building something together.
Oh, I see. Natural conversation isn't about fancy words. It's about making the other person's words matter, right?
Precisely. And once you react, you move to the second step. Extend.
How does extend work in practice?
Think of the extra sentence rule. When someone asks a question, give your answer, plus just one more thought.
So if you ask, what did you do this weekend?
Instead of just saying, I went downtown, you add, I went downtown. I finally checked out that new cafe.
Ah, that gives you an opening to ask what I thought of it.
Exactly. You don't need a whole speech or an impressive story, just one simple detail.
What if my weekend was boring and I have nothing exciting to add?
It doesn't need to be exciting, just real. Even saying, I went downtown, I hadn't been there in a while, gives me something to respond to.
So even an ordinary detail gives us small pieces to build the conversation forward?
Of course. Keep it small, keep it real, and let the conversation develop naturally.
I think I finally understand why conversations sometimes feel like a job interview. I answer exactly what was asked and immediately stop. Like, where are you from? I'm from Miami. What do you do? I work in marketing.
That's very common among learners. That kind of talk forces the other person to work hard to come up with another question every single time. Let's fix that. Where are you from?
I'm from Miami. I grew up there, so I still miss the beach sometimes.
Perfect. You understood my point of view. Now I have options. I can ask about the beach, talk about visiting Miami, or ask if you'd ever move back.
And I barely added anything extra.
That's the secret. You don't need a whole speech, you just have to leave the door open so the other person has somewhere to go.
A short answer isn't bad, but a dead-end answer makes the conversation stall.
Keep the door open, and the conversation takes care of itself.
So if reacting shows I'm engaged with their idea, extending gives them something from my side.
Exactly. And to practice the extra sentence rule, don't just give flat facts. Add a quick reason, detail, feeling, or opinion.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Instead of just, I like working from home, say, I like working from home because I can organize my day better. That's a reason.
Or instead of, I travel a lot, say, I travel a lot, especially when I have a few days off. That adds a detail.
Exactly. Or add an opinion. I like that restaurant. The atmosphere is really relaxed.
So I can simply add a reason, detail, opinion, or feeling to leave the door open.
Right. Just ask yourself, is there one simple thing I can naturally add? We're building an easy habit, not a complicated system.
Can we combine the first two moves?
Definitely. Let's try it. I finally tried that new restaurant downtown.
Oh, really? I've been meaning to try it. What did you think?
I loved it. The food was great, and the atmosphere was super relaxed.
Nice. You answered my question and added a detail that gives me more to respond to.
Exactly. Now you try starting one.
I finally started going to the gym again.
Oh, nice. How's it going?
It's going really well. I forgot how much better I feel after exercising.
Perfect. You gave a simple answer and extended it with a personal feeling.
And now you could ask about my routine, why I took a break, or share your own workout habits.
That's how a conversation naturally builds its own momentum.
I think I usually jump from one topic to another without explaining the connection, which makes it feel abrupt.
That's where bridge phrases help. Simple expressions like, that reminds me, speaking of that, or that actually makes me think of.
But the phrase itself isn't magic, right? The actual connection between our ideas is what matters.
You could memorize every transition phrase in English, but it won't sound natural if your ideas don't fully connect.
So instead of memorizing canned expressions, I should look for the genuine links between thoughts.
Precisely. Once you train your mind to see the connection, the right words follow naturally. Let's test how quickly you can find a connection. If I say, I really miss living near the beach, what does that remind you of?
Summer vacations.
Great! Now build the bridge.
I miss living near the beach too. It actually reminds me of my summer vacations growing up.
Perfect. Let's do another one. I've been thinking about getting a dog.
That reminds me of my friend who just adopted a puppy. Hearing her stories makes me want one even more.
Spot on. Now the conversation can branch into puppy stories, pet care, or what kind of dog you'd get.
So a single connection opens up multiple paths for both of us.
Exactly. A fluent conversation doesn't follow a rigid, straight line. It branches out naturally.
Natural conversation isn't about staying on one topic forever, is it?
Not at all. The topics can change completely, as long as the listener can follow the path between them.
So the connection is like a bridge between two ideas. How do we build that bridge when we want to take the conversation somewhere new?
That's the fourth move. Redirect. You don't have to stay on the same subject forever. You just give the listener a clear reason for the shift.
So instead of suddenly changing the topic, I use something from the current conversation as a bridge, right?
Sure. If we're talking about restaurants and you suddenly say, I went to New York last year. It feels random. But if you say, I love trying new food when I travel. When I went to New York, I spent half the trip exploring local cafes. It flows seamlessly.
Because the listener sees how I got there.
Right. Let's test all 4 moves together. I'll ask, what kind of places do you enjoy visiting?
Oh, I love places that feel completely different from where I live.
Good reaction. Now extend it.
I especially like places where I can walk around and discover things without planning everything.
Great. Now connect it to another experience.
That actually reminds me of New York. The first time I visited, I spent hours just exploring the streets.
And now redirect.
Speaking of New York, I've always wondered what it would be like to actually live there.
Perfect. You started with a general question about travel and naturally led us into talking about living in New York.
That completely changes how I practice. Instead of trying to speak about one topic for 5 minutes, I can practice this natural movement.
Exactly. Take one simple question, answer it, add one detail to extend, connect it to another experience, and redirect.
What if I don't have much to say or my answer feels too simple?
Use the one detail technique. Look at your own sentence and zoom in. If you say, I usually cook at home, add why it's easier, what you cook, or a new recipe you tried yesterday.
So I don't need a whole new topic, I just open up the idea I already have.
Precisely. And don't rely on bridge words like speaking of that as magic tricks. The real skill is finding the actual relationship between your thoughts.
Is that what fluent speakers do automatically? Following the thread?
Yes. One idea naturally activates the next, like following a trail.
How can I practice this on my own?
Ask yourself 3 simple questions. What else can I add? What does this remind me of? And where could this naturally lead?
Let me try that with cooking. I cook at home during the week because it fits my schedule. That actually reminds me of a new dish I made last week that turned out great. Speaking of trying new things, I've been thinking about taking a cooking class.
Spot on. You didn't search for a script. You just let each thought lead to the next.
And what if I feel like my daily life isn't interesting enough for a good story?
You don't need extraordinary experiences, just genuine responses. If your weekend was quiet, say, I had a quiet weekend because I really needed to recharge, which made me realize I need to organize my work schedule better.
And if I still struggle to extend an idea, I can just ask myself why, when, or how.
Exactly. Those little questions open up the details for you.
What about when I'm under pressure and my brain freezes?
Simplify. Don't worry about all 4 steps. Just start with move number 1. React. Say, oh really? Or that sounds interesting. That buys your brain a second to catch up.
That makes it a practical safety net rather than a rigid formula.
Exactly. Real fluency isn't about speaking fast or memorizing endless scripts. It's about keeping the connection alive with the English you already know.
If you want to practice this today, pick one simple question. Answer it naturally and ask, what can I add? What does this remind me of? Where can this lead?
Keep your ideas connected, and the conversation will flow on its own.
Liam, this framework makes complete sense. But what happens when my mind suddenly goes blank and I don't know what to say next?
That's where you need our next lesson on the psychological tricks to stay relaxed, drop performance anxiety, and feel confident speaking English.
No more overthinking. See you in the next lesson.
See you there. Bye.